bring in retired Army Major John Spencer. He's the chair of Urban Warfare Studies with the Madison Policy Forum. Good to see you again, Major Spencer. Putin, it sure looks like, is targeting civilians. What does that tell you about Putin's strategy and how he views war?
Yeah, I still think that shows to me that the strategy is this is a war about one battle, the Battle of Kyiv. He needs all these cities in order to make that happen. He'll claim he's targeting enemy forces, people with weapons, but luckily the ICC is rapidly moving to investigate each strike because he has the right to protect civilians. I will say what's concerning me though, what we're seeing with this migration and the ceasefires in order to allow civilians does actually help Russia achieve its mission. We want it to happen, right? We want the civilians out of there, but it actually helps Russia, and I think it is what militaries do and why militaries don't like to fight in cities. The best way to do that is to empty it of civilians and say the only thing left are enemy, and then you can just flatten it.
And so, given that you say helping Putin achieve his objective by leaving, I mean, what are the alternatives here? How can you stop mass casualties?
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of these cities, this is the right thing. Halting the battle so that civilians can flee. And I think the whole free world needs to help in supporting the countries that are receiving the refugees that will soon overreach even World War II migrations of civilians. One of the things, if they're trapped, they can do in any urban battle, and especially cities like Odessa, Kharkiv, Kiev, they have massive underground networks. And the underground has always been a refuge for civilians. You think about the 1940 Blitz of London. I mean, we're seeing almost iconic, similar pictures of civilians underground.
Interesting. I want to ask you about some exclusive reporting that we had from our Alex Marquardt. He spoke with folks involved in this Ukrainian hotline that Russian mothers are calling because they've lost contact with their sons on the battlefield, and Ukrainians were the ones to set up this hotline for those Russian families to try to get the truth out about what is happening. What do you see as the impact of this?
I mean, that could have a strategic major effect. I mean, I wrote a book about this. This idea that soldiers go off to war and we'll hear from them when we're done, that's not today. Today, soldiers have access and they'll find a way, just because of the way we are, to talk about home. And the fact that it's Russian mothers, that's huge. Russia has a lot of experience with mothers bringing conflicts to a halt or interfering. They marched at the Battle of Grozny, which everybody keeps talking about. A group of mothers marched to Grozny and camped there for a month until the Russian generals came out and talked to them about the reporting of casualties, the care of the troops. This could have a huge effect on Russia's ability to keep doing this, on the troops' ability to keep moving forward. I mean, soldiers don't fight for dictators. Soldiers fight for a cause, they fight for their families, and they fight for each other. This is huge.
And now we're learning Russia is trying to supplement its forces with foreign fighters, including Syrians. If Russia had this under control, would they need to do that?
Absolutely not. I mean, that's a clear show that they bit off more than they can chew. They don't have the manpower it takes to fight these urban battles. And this is pretty concerning for me. Those are hardened urban fighters that will fight viciously. And I think that's a really bad sign with military's requirements to protect civilians, the use of force, abiding by the laws of war. These fighters have shown that they don't do that.
Retired Army Major John Spencer, thank you very much for joining us.